entities, but I'm sure in this many businesses in this forum that you do. And this is where the world gets very interesting, because the efica want you to go and hunt down the warm bodies behind the structures, and you'll find high net worth individuals and some scalums like to use these structures to try and hide their beneficial ownership, but the onus is on you is to go unpack this lot. So what happens with the entity screening, you put in the entity name and you put in the entity registration number, you select, is this a single or multiple transaction? And normally there's a big blue button here that says confirm. And when you hit confirm, efica interfaces with subsea and goes to fetches the data that subsea has in record for the client. Some of you that deal with subsea will know that subsea's information is not always up to date. Maybe the client's address has changed or something. You can delete data and you can make amendments on this information. You obviously have to capture your transaction details because subsea doesn't know what transaction you are busy with. And then you will see underneath that efica goes to fetch the directors of the company. I just want to point out at this juncture, subsea does not have beneficial ownership information at the moment. All the company returns that have gone in this year, since we got grey listed, everyone has to submit the beneficial ownership, but right now we can't pull this data. So you have to obtain the shareholding information from either the company secretary or the auditors in order to do the screening. We do, however, pull through the directors because more often than not, particularly in small, medium-sized enterprises, the directors are also the shareholders. So if I go and view, just another point, on the screen here, you can't see it here because there's a screening we've already done. There's a button here where you can also add and delete. For instance, if you've got someone with a resolution who's not a director or a shareholder, you can add that person here because that person, if he has a resolution, is actually a UBO. If I now go and, sorry, I've got the emails coming there.
Sorry, Peter, can we just clarify this UBO term?
Yes, ultimate beneficial owner.
So ultimate beneficial owner. So
yeah, it's short. Well, that almost gives you the wrong impression. It's the person that has control over the entity. Now, in an extreme example, you may be the shareholder of a business. You may be 100% shareholder, but you might have given me a resolution to enact any decision I want over that business. Then, in fact, I am the ultimate beneficiary. I'm the controlling party. I'm actually controlling that entity by remote control. So
this has to do with people trying to hide themselves or trying to distance themselves and be an arm's length away, sort of thing.
Yes.
Is this
in fact, a brilliant example is in the VBS EFF scam thing there. You'll see that Floyd Shabambu's brother owns a company called something as Grand Azania, which, if you read Daily Maverick, they've identified that thing is the alter ego of Floyd Shabambu. He's controlling that entity, although the whole entity is in his brother's name. So you actually need to screen the guy who's affecting the decisions in that. Okay.
Sorry that I interrupted. I need to.
No problem. Okay, so now we're looking at this person here, this director. You'll see subsea sucked through all the information. It asks two questions here. Does the member have a resolution? Yes or no? Is the director also a shareholder? Now, you would have obtained the shareholding information, so you know this fellow is a shareholder. So you answer yes, and you put in their shareholding information here. Now, very importantly, right now, efica high-risk companies is going to prompt you to screen individuals. They've got 10% and more on high-risk companies, 25% and more on low-risk companies. But you probably all know already, the efica is now talking about going down to 5% beneficial ownership. As soon as that becomes a reality in our lives, we will change the screening process to accommodate that. Now, because this fellow's got 18%, he's below 25, he's more than 10. We don't, at this juncture of the screening, we wouldn't actually know whether we need to screen this fellow or not, because we haven't sanctioned screened the company yet, and because we don't want to waste data calls, we don't screen the individuals here. So I'm going to close him here. You'll see that we do entity sanction screening, adverse media, and all that kind of stuff on the company here. That's not on the individuals. So you can read all the return results, and you'll see it gives general web results too. And then what happens is we get to what most people struggle with. This is the hunt for the UBO. So your contracting parties, charter fiduciary administrators, SIP-C is pulled through these three people over here. You've obtained the shareholding information, and you see that there's another company over here. In terms of the efica Act, you now need to obtain that shareholding information. So what you do is when you discover this, you hit this plus button here. You say, I want to add an entity name, and you put in the shareholding, and it creates that block over there. Once you've obtained that shareholding information, you discover that there's a trust that owns this company. So you'll see it owns 100% of that company. So you now need to go and add that trust. Over here, trust name, beneficial ownership. So you can see what we're doing. We're unpacking the structure to find the warm bodies behind the structure. And in so doing, you'll see that efica actually helps you tremendously, because these are the individual UBOs that need to be screened. If I now open these people up, if I go view over here, you'll see the full person's details, full sanction screening, PEP, adverse media, full web results, and you load their data over there. You'll see there's another section here. In terms of the efica Act, you need to screen people, in all the people in a trust: founder, trustee, named beneficiary, and authorized person. If I open one of these up, you'll see that this fellow is a founder, trustee, and authorized person. So you capture his details once under this drop-down box here. You click all his roles as per the trust documentation, and we screen him once in all those capacities, and then we add his documents over there. Then, obviously the same happens for all the other related parties. You then load your entity documents. We have the same onboarding decision that you had with the individuals, and here's your entity report. Now you'll see this is a monster document. It's got absolutely everything in it that we've done. It's got the company details, the organogram, and then all the related parties' particular information. So if the efica walk into your office, you can really show them that you've done a proper due diligence. You know exactly who is behind these entities. Okay, Sean, this is now the end of the entities. I don't know if you want to take a couple of questions on that. Sean, you there? Okay, Sean's not there. Let's carry on. Okay, let's have a very brief look at the trust. We've briefly looked at the trust. If you look at trust clients, you've got your same dashboards. If you look here, I've got an example here. The master's office cannot provide us with any data feed whatsoever, so you have to manually capture the trust document information through here. You will see we've created drop-down boxes as far as possible to make it easier for you. Then you have your transaction details over here. And as we touched on just now, when you get to your related parties, you'll see this first fellow here is a founder, trustee, named beneficiary, and he's an authorized person. So again, we capture him once, we tick all his roles in the trust, and we screen him once in all those roles, and we load his documents there. We do the same for the other related party. Once that's done, we load the trust documents. Here's your onboarding decision, and there's your trust efica report. Okay, let's just get on to Sean. I don't know if you would.
My apologies, Peter. I was on mute. I was busy answering you back, but